So as you can see, there's lots of themes here. And you know what? If you look at that all at once, it can become overwhelming. And this is where a one big focus comes in. Because if you try and do everything at once, it just becomes overwhelming. And guess what? You don't do anything. And this is why we talk about a one big focus. And a one big focus is where we typically say 90 days, 3 months, but you can choose the time scale. It could be a 1 month focus. It could be whatever. Where you actually go, just for this month, this quarter, we're going to focus down on this. So when I did this with Matt this week, we picked out the one big focus for the next 3 months for Matt and his team was to improve his operational efficiency by systemizing. And this was about, there were lots of things, weren't there, Matt, that came under that. But one of the big things, if I remember rightly, was about sorting out the workflows and getting your outsourcing operation to follow them and work for you to help you release your time. We also talked about picking systems where you could automate from practice recognition into your practice management, into QuickBooks Online as you're a QuickBooks practice with a minimal amount of manual input. So that was part of what we were talking about as Matt's one big focus for the next 90 days. Now, there's lots of stuff that I know Matt needs to do around advisory, but it was like, right, if your biggest problem is a lack of time, we need to address that first. We went straight into that systemization and process flow. And your key one big focus may be different. And I know with Matt, the next stage was then about building the client proposition and what should the services be, what should the niche be, and how do we build advisory into that. And that was sort of, the next one big focus. It's thinking about what if I, in the next 90 days, what if I could solve this now would make the biggest amount of difference to the growth of my practice. Now, if you're a slightly bigger operation like John or like Sean, your one big focus is going to be spread over, lots of people within the practice, and you can be a lot more high level. But if you're beautifully formed like Stacey, it might be a lot more detail focus on just one thing, and it's about where you are in the evolution of your practice. And the key thing with the one big focus is everyone with the practice is going to get focused in on that for the next 90 days. So be interesting, having heard of that, what comes to mind is perhaps what you should be focusing as your one big focus, maybe for the next quarter or maybe the next quarter after that. What is the thing that if you hit it now is going to give you the biggest bang for your buck going forward?